So a new brand out of Australia called Dribblr Hockey contacted me saying would I like to review a couple of their sticks? And I obviously said yes. So the two sticks that they've sent me are from their custom range. Now their custom builder lets you choose length, carbon percentage, number of cores, the bow, and finally the fabric that finishes it. So they give you several options and they explain the benefits and negatives to each one. You can also upload your own custom paint job for them to apply if you want to. The second stick also had great feel on the ball. It had a mid balance point, so it was a little bit quicker for head speed when doing intricate skills. It was really nice to dribble with and was really fantastic for bouncing the ball into the turf to get it to lift over a stick. The bow profile is actually really good for picking the ball on your reverse, so when you're playing from right to left with lateral drags or any movement across your body, it's really good for that reverse stick pickup and control. It's not so curved that you get under the ball, but also not too shallow that you accidentally knock the ball back across. When it came to hitting, this stick was a little bit better than the other stick that I was trying. It had the same size sweet spot, so it was a really good size sweet spot, but it was really great for flat hitting it straight along the turf, no bobble whatsoever. The same with slapping, again, straight along the turf, no lift whatsoever, and the power transfer was phenomenal. So it possibly hit the ball a little bit better than the carbon weave stick that I was also trialling. That being said, it was not as good for getting under the ball and lifting it high into the goal. When you did miss the sweet spot, there was that same level of feedback as with the other stick though, so you did feel it rattling your hands if you missed the sweet spot. When it came to hitting on reverse, this stick was just as good. Again, excellent power transfer, really good power transfer when you're hitting tomahawks. You could really nail the ball into the bottom corners with such power. As with the other stick, you got a lot less feedback when hitting tomahawks. There was next to no vibration when you didn't hit it clean. This stick, again, excellent for height control and really good for hitting it flat, so you could lift the ball high into the goal if you wanted, or you could hit it perfectly flat. This gave you a lot of confidence in using your reverse stick away from goal, so playing long passes on reverse to a teammate was something you were very confident in with this stick. When it came to flicking, because of the thickness of the head as I've mentioned, this stick was not as good for 3D skills as the other stick I was trialling. The thickness of the head made it a little bit difficult to get under the ball, and because it was a little bit difficult to get under the ball, it made it hard to control the height when you were flicking. It was very good for flicking low, but when you wanted to go high into the roof of the net, it was a little bit more difficult. Once you did get under the ball though, it was very good for accuracy, so if you got the ball up onto the face of the stick, you could really accelerate through, picking out those top corners. When it came to overheads, it was hampered a little bit by the thickness of the head. I did struggle to get under the ball a few times and it made it quite difficult to flick. So as you can see from the footage, most of the overheads that I threw with this stick did go the distance. One of them didn't actually clear it, one of them hit the back netting and came back. So as I say, it was very difficult to get under the ball. Once you did get under the ball, it was capable of throwing 40-yard overheads. So the distance wasn't the problem, it was just a case of that initial pickup was very difficult. As with the other areas of flicking, it's not really what this stick was made to do. Because of that, it was a little bit more difficult to get under the ball and lift the ball high into the goal, as I've mentioned. It also struggled with longer drags, so if you were trying to drag the ball round the first runner to get your shot off, it struggled a little bit with that long drag technique. That being said, this stick really excelled in firing the ball low into bottom corners. You could get a lot of power transfer through the flick into the bottom corner and it would stay flat to the ground, which was really great. I think if you were playing the ball in for deflections, this stick would be perfect. You could use the bow quite well to add more power, which made this stick even more effective at firing the ball in for deflections. So overall, this is a great all-rounder stick. I especially like how well it hits the ball. There's a great power transfer and you can have a lot of control over keeping the ball flat, and it's very accurate. The stick does have some difficulty with lifting the ball and getting under the ball and getting high, but in terms of playing a low lifted pass to your teammates, maybe 6 to 12 inches off the floor as a maximum, it's really great. It's very accurate once the ball is off the ground with flicking, so as long as you're keeping the ball low, you can pass with real precision. And let's not forget that the stick is truly phenomenal on reverse. You have a lot of control over the height of the ball and you can get a lot of power transfer. So you can hit the ball dead flat across the pitch to a teammate, or you can lift the ball high if you're taking a shot at goal. As I stated in the review that I put up yesterday for Dribblr, the value for money with this brand is absolutely amazing. So you can get a tailored stick or a customized stick at very competitive prices. So for a tailored stick, so their graphics, but you get to choose the weight, the length, the composition and the finishing fabric of the stick. You can get all that for £140 UK, which I think is truly amazing value.